Many thanks for joining us here on News Desk to our very first story this morning. And the new parliamentary candidate of the National Democratic Congress in the Adentan constituency, Mohammed Ramadan, is set to hand a key campaign role to defeated Member of Parliament Emmanuel Ashimor. Adentan was one of the fiercely contested constituencies during the governing party's primaries last year, but Mr. Ramadan defeated his 3 contenders to emerge winner in the race. Mohammed Ramadan believes he can retain the seat for the ruling NDC and hopes to achieve this by involving the current Member of Parliament for the area, Ni Ashimor.
I am loyal, committed and hardworking enough to come and work with him at the presidency. Then he should defeat whatever people say that I'm not NDC, I'm MPP or anything. He should defeat it. It came up a lot, but we addressed it, and God being good, people saw reason in what we said.
What do you think your family symbolizes? This diversity, does it symbolize anything?
Tolerance. Tolerance. I think that's how we must live as a society. I mean, sometimes religion is foisted on people. You grow up into a home where your parents are Muslims. You sort of take up that religion. There are people who grow up and change their orientation, want to be Christians. You grow up in a home where your parents are Christians. You grow up and later on want to be a Muslim.
The battle is done, at least the first part of your party's own internal contest. We're moving into 2016. Yabuabia Samoa, a well-known face within the political landscape, was for a long time at the office of the vice president, was aspired for general secretary in the MPP. He lost, but certainly a heavyweight. You're coming head-to-head with him. Does that scare you?
It shouldn't scare me. I mean, I think people didn't give me a dog's chance. People thought, no, Ramadan as a newcomer, he had just come in. I mean, can he unseat Ashimor? Ashimor is too formidable. He's too strong. These are the same things I'm hearing about Yabua Bing. The same work input I put in for the primaries, I'll probably double it up now. And I want to assure my people that it would amaze people the result I would make in the general elections. It would amaze people.
You say you double out your efforts and the results therein. That gives me a clear impression that you think that you are certainly going to defeat the MPP's candidate in Adentan, hands down.
I'm very confident I would come out victorious with the help of God. I'm very confident about that. And I know hard work ultimately pays. And I'll put in a lot of effort.
You're going to campaign on the record of the incumbent, right, Ashimor?
I'm going to campaign on the record of the President, His Excellency.
And his representative in that constituency?
I mean, yes, to a large extent, but the thrust... Yeah, I mean, but the thrust would be on the record of the President.
Okay. To a large extent, you're going to campaign on Ashimor's record. This is a man that you sought to replace. What has he done for the people of Adentan, which you're going to, campaign on?
I'm going to campaign on the record of His Excellency the President.
Which record? In the constituency?
For the President. I mean, we're running a general elections. I'm aiming to work hard to ensure His Excellency the President gets nominated. So the thrust of my message should be things I know he has done and what he can do. And then at that point, I'll begin to talk about what I can do for the constituency. So really what somebody has know what he hasn't done is past now, and it's about what I can do and what the President would continue to do for the people.
Would you say that the NDC has achieved a lot in the Adentan constituency over the past 4 years?
I mean, one major headache that I know the people of Adentan really have been going through has been this issue of lack of water. Now there's water. Government is pumping 40 million barrels a day across the country. So, I mean, to a large extent, some of their challenges are being met. So there's progress. We're doing something on the ground. There's progress.
Some of their challenges are being met. I'm sure they still have challenges. What do you intend doing to alleviate some of these issues that they certainly have, they may have?
I mean, there'll always be challenges everywhere. I mean, even in the most advanced countries, they have their own set of challenges. But it all depends on one's style of leadership. Once you identify what the people what their problems are, you would know how to go about it. And I think that one thing that works for me is my ability to lobby well, to communicate well, and then it should be easy for me to get some of these things sorted out for them, I believe.
Interesting. Your ability to lobby well. That's going to be your main trump card if you are elected. That's going to be your main strength.
I mean, to the extent that...
Is it because, you're close, you've been working here for the presidency, so you have the contact?
To the extent that a lot of these developments are not going to be done from my pocket, and it's going to be done from state resources, from government's budget. I should be able to know how to push for things to get to my constituency, and it depends on relationships and lobbying skills. I mean.
And that was the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the Adentan constituency, Mohammed Ramadan. But meanwhile, the political turmoil in the New Patriotic Party rumbles on. Leading member of the party, Nyaho Tamaklo, has been suspended by the Greater Accra regional chairman of the party, Ishmael Ashite, following a petition brought before the party by a member in the Ayawaso constituency. The petitioner, Stephen Asante, accused Dr. Tamaklo of conducting himself in a way that undermined the peace and unity within the party. However, in a strongly worded statement, Dr. Tamaklo said he would treat the letter of suspension with all the contempt it deserves and is ready to fight any executive pound for pound. Dr. Tamaklo said he would not listen to fascist elements within the party, but would rather heed to the call from former President J.A. Kufuor and other leading members of the party. We will keep you updated as this particular story unfolds. Let's to stay with the NPP, and the Electoral Commission has officially communicated to the party reasons why it cannot replace the existing voters register for this year's general elections. The NPP and some pressure groups have been leading the call for the replacement of the existing electoral roll due to what they say is its bloated nature. But the EC, in a 33-page document to the largest opposition party in the country, says replacing the current register is not possible. I'll be joined pretty shortly in the studio by my colleague Kwachi Afrenema, who has a copy of that particular statement and is now ready with some excerpts of what really the statement says. So like I said, my colleague Kwachi Afrenema is also a member of our political desk here at Joe News. He's joined me now in studio with excerpts of that particular statement. And Alfred, many thanks for your time. Now, quite interesting, but reading a bit of that thing, the particular statement, I see them say, heeding to the NPP's call for removal of names of the alleged Togolese would be discriminatory. I'm at a loss here.
Well, according to the EC, in examining, and this was one of the key issues that formed the thrust of the MPP's argument in pushing for a review of the register, as you mentioned, the presence of, they say, of more than 76,000 Togolese on the electoral data. The Electoral Commission says that in examining the identity and status of these alleged Togolese nationals on Ghana's voters register, they found that they were all duly registered during the mass registration period in 2012. Again, that the MPP did not provide any proof of the citizenship status of these persons and did not show any proof that they were not entitled to be registered in Ghana. And it goes ahead to say, that registration on the register of any country under the current laws of Ghana does not take away one's eligibility to be on the register. And another interesting point is that the EC from this document, this 33-page document, says that it was unable to confirm the authenticity of the Togolese register used by the MPP. You remember that at the forum, the Electoral Commission mentioned that they had requested that the MPP brings the copy of the Togolese register that they said that they had acquired. The Electoral Commission say that, well, the authenticity of of that document they were not able to independently verify because, again, the EC of Togo, they made a request to them and they refused to give the Electoral Commission of Ghana that document. And the concluding part on that point is that seeking to remove names of persons who appear on the registers of Togo, Burkina Faso, and Cote d'Ivoire in the view of the Electoral Commission, would be an arbitrary and discriminatory application of the law. And so they ask, would the Commission therefore be required to obtain all the registers of all countries of the world and remove the names of persons who appear on the register as well as Ghana?
Quite interesting. But the NPP also made mention of the Abu Ramadan case. I mean, the fact that people can't get registered with their national health insurance cards. Did the EC respond to this particular one as well?
Exactly, Chanchahene. They say that in the case of, in the Abu Ramadan case, the Supreme Court ruled that the use of NHI cards in their current form was insufficient as proof of citizenship, and consequently the Electoral Commission was directed to stop accepting that as proof of citizenship for voters registration. But what the AC is saying here is that nowhere in that ruling did the Supreme Court nullify all registration by voters who presented NHI cards as proof of citizenship. Essentially, that law did not take retrospective effect.
Okay, and there was also a point about the MPP saying that most of the pictures on the register, for instance, were edited. Go ahead. Any response to that as well?
The Electoral Commission says that the biometric register has multiple layers of data protection and integrity assurance, and does not permit the possibility of these pictures on the register being edited. And they go ahead to say that the consultant's report on the independent review of the biometric voters register also supports the position that this is not even possible, that the system itself has adequate integrity and has not been compromised, cannot be compromised in this regard. And they promise that they will furnish the MPP with the full details of the consultant's report concerning this particular matter.
I see. Well, many thanks for that particular update. And that was my colleague, Kwachia Frenioma. He's with our political desk here at Join. He joined me in studio with a lot more on that particular statement by the Electoral Commission to the opposition New Patriotic Party. We'll try as much as possible and get you some responses from that party. You're still watching News Desk here on Join News Multi TV. You're taking our first break. We'll be back shortly with some more.